30% of coaching is tactics, 70% social competence. German national coach Julian Nagelsmann once head of his methodology. For Naglesman, his tactics revolves around the type of players he has. Julian is in between. He gives us a clear tactical direction along with the freedom, especially in the attack. Ilkay Gundogan said when he was asked about Nagelsmann. However, there is a problem with this freedom. The former Bayern Munich coach himself has said that players may not always stick to things. They have their own decisions all the time. And this is the biggest aspect of your role as a coach, to tackle the game and the overachieving decisions. When Nagelsmann fielded his team in a 4-2-3-1 formation against USA in his German debut, he left his players in the comfortable positions with Musiala operating in the middle as a free number 10, Sané on the right with the freedom to work in half spaces, with Wirtz doing the same job on the left. However, Nagelsmann's methodology of player freedom backfired in the initial moments itself. Players start to lose the ball in the center of the pitch, often leading to dangerous counters. The vertical passes through the middle were either intercepted or closely defended in tight spaces. But he insisted with his tactic to overload the center with tight space players like Wirtz and Musiala, and the double pivot of Gundogan and Kroos continued to find them with risky vertical passes. Dribbling wingers were given the license to cut inside and play their game, while tight space technicians operated on the half space to find the running wingers. Nagelsmann trusts elite ball manipulators as they can freeze and weave past any combat defense to open the game for his team. The tight space combination plays are executed by pushing more players near the ball with a great understanding of the space around. Player proximity is taken to the extreme level by using the concept of minimal width even in the ball far side. Nagelsmann juggles with the risky ideas of minimal width, central overloads, maximal box occupation, and most importantly, players about tactics. The question is, can this high-risk approach bring the German machines back to their glory days? A milder French evening, France hosts their sporting rivals Germany 3 months ahead of the Euros. The away team kicked off the match in its hostile territory, and all of a sudden, German wonderkid Florian Wirtz produced a thunderous strike, opening the score sheet within the first 10 seconds. France was helpless at their fort as they witnessed Wirtz scoring his first international goal, assisted by the returning German sniper Toni Kroos. Though Nagelsmann couldn't ask for a better start, the risk of dangerous turnovers affected them. Due to over-reliance on vertical penetrative passes, the risk of conceding counterattacks from a team with lightning wingers was very high. Still, Germany made their intentions clear at the early minutes, and it was a clear indication of how Nagelsmann wants his team to play. He wants central overloads from the likes of Musiala and Wirtz, combined with well-timed off-ball movements of Gundogan, who worked well with agile and pacey Havertz. A generic 4-2-3-1 formation suited the profile of players he had. Nagelsmann, who himself believes the player who connects the defense and offense is the most important position in football, brought Toni Kroos back from retirement to fill that hole for Germany. Further up the pitch, the game intelligence of Wirtz and Musiala added another dynamic in the middle third. What makes Germany chaotic is their final third occupation. Unlike most coaches who wants to stretch the opposition midfield line, Nagelsmann prefers to pull the defender apart and create the space in the final third. When a fullback is drawn wide, any of the attacking midfielders are expected to exploit the space left by the fullback in the back line. This was something Nagelsmann kept on trying against France, and his players started to find several ways to successfully stretch the back line. The intentions were evident. Nagelsmann wants his players to disrupt the opposition back line, move the ball with players in close proximity by equipping half spaces, primarily to create central overloads and thereby break compact defenses. The exact working of this attacking machine is fascinating. Let's start with the idea of close proximity between players, which means a shorter distance between the players. Nagelsmann wants his players to load the ball side to have maximum passing options to keep the possession and lure opposition to the ball to then find the free man on the far side. There are almost 7 players near the ball who keep on moving in the tight space to disrupt defense. They form mini rondos. It may be 3v1, 3v2 or altogether a 6v3 rondo to circle the ball and then break out of the pressure to find a free man. Also note the position of the right back, who is just keeping the required width by tucking in instead of moving out to utilize maximum playing area. The success of the tight space play lies in the position of players. The ball carrier always has multiple progressive options at different depths, and the receivers often form players to execute some combinational plays to then switch to the free man. The ball is played quickly between those small groups of players when under pressure to find the free man at last. The close proximity is mostly maintained in central areas, making it easier to play vertical penetrative passes using combination plays between the player groups. A ball played vertically sets out a chain reaction of quick passes to encroach the opposition penalty box to have a shorter goal. Nagelsmann's methodology of stretching the backline combined with quick vertical passes can almost unlock any defense. When the forward pulls out a defender from the backline, the half-space midfielder, who is often close to backline, exploits that space created by the forward's movement. There is no way to defend these lightning attacks where the defense is stretched and smart off-ball movements coupled with precise passes come into action. However, there is a problem associated with the close proximity. When players crowd the ball near area, it leaves space somewhere, especially on the ball far side. This means any cheap disposition may lead to conceding dangerous counterattacks down the middle. If any of the vertical balls is intercepted, the opposition can easily transition through the heart of German midfield if there is no proper rest defense in front of the centre backs to protect them from counters. Naglesman solidified his rest defense with the return of Toni Kroos. Kroos, along with Bundesliga champions Leverkusen's Robert Andrich, forms a double pivot, creating a 2-2 base when all others go for all-out attack. Pivots are tasked with stopping any central progression upon losing the ball. They jump out to close down opposition's central ball carriers during transition. Germany's fullbacks, who are often high up in the opposition half, then get time to recover and help out the backline. The position of two pivots ensures that they are well connected with centre backs during both attack and defense. From the defensive perspective, the pivots are always available to win any second ball after an interception or clearance by the centre back when the opposition is attacking through the middle in transitions. These systems have their flaws too. When the rest defense gets beaten, the centre backs get exposed. It is one of the most difficult situations to defend in football for anyone when a dribbling ball carrier is driving at maximum speed and you are isolated in your own half. Nagelsmann's risky vertical game is prone to this kind of transition, and he has a double safety system of solid rest defense and a pacey centre-back duo of Jonathan Tah and Antonio Rudiger. The recovery pace of Tah and Rudiger is very crucial in stopping transitions. They are quite able to stop any runners released behind the high line. Along with the pace, both are instructed to be aggressive in stepping out of the backline if any of the opposition players receives behind the double pivot. The chaotic nature of Nagelsmann's Germany has a stable side to it when it comes to build-up. These are the situations in which players recover their breath from the tiring pace of vertical chaotic German game. During build-up, they opt for stability by maximal utilization of pitch in on half by creating a 3-1 initial structure. Further up the pitch, they overload the opposition backline with at least 4 players constantly moving between the lines. The ball is moved slowly between the pivots and centre backs in their own half, and they patiently wait for gaps to open to penetrate the opposition. This stable nature quickly becomes chaotic when these gaps created by the players dropping towards the ball are exploited by vertical play. Kroos controls his vertical play while Gundogan mostly drops right in the middle near the central circle to combine with one of the pivots or switch the play wide. Kroos is the final piece of this German puzzle as he is the stabilizer of the whole team. It's Nagelsmann who persuaded Toni to come back from the retirement, and his arrival has made them a well-oiled machine. Nagelsmann's chaotic German army has its limitations, but it's what makes it exciting to watch. They may lose the ball frantically in the most unexpected moment, but the whole team is ready for it. Players have their ideas, but inside a defined system that deliberately induces chaos to demolish defenses. The world itself is a chaotic place, and football as a game is chaotic. To control the chaos as per one's will without losing its true unpredictability is a meticulous job. And there comes Nagelsmann, who relentlessly tailors his team according to available player profiles while adapting the style of play with the opposition he faces.